What's good, everybody? It's the Clown on the Cav Show. What a weekend for college football. Amazing. Obviously, me being a diehard Notre Dame fan, it was really disappointing. Obviously, it's the same story like I've been telling you guys year in and year out for Notre Dame. I mean, they make it to the big game, and what happens? They end up losing the big game. And to me, it's incredible to me. You know, Notre Dame is now 0-7 in BCS or New Year's Day bowl games. Since 1998, they're 0-7, dude. You know, obviously losing to, obviously this year losing to, or last year, 2020, losing to Alabama, was really bad, lost by 17, you know, to be crazy. And then 2018, lost to Clemson by 27. And then 2015 lost to Ohio State by 16 points. 2012, we know, which was 2013, in the national championship against Bama with Teo and those guys, they lost by 28. And obviously, it was 2021 when Notre Dame lost to Bama. I said 2020. It was 2020 season into 2021. So you catch my drift. It's incredible to me. And then 2006 versus LSU, they lost by 27. And then 2005 against Ohio State, lost by 14. And then 2000 against Oregon State, lost by 32. To me, it just keeps coming up for Notre Dame. I don't know where to go, you know, and give props. I'm going to give props to Brian Kelly here. And a lot of people are like, why, Cap? You know, I've been critical with Brian Kelly. Look, you know, he's got us to the big game year in and year out. And I really think we are improving Notre Dame for sure. They are improving on the field, no doubt. I mean, obviously against Bama, we had one good drive against Bama. Shout out to Williams, the Notre Dame running back. If it wasn't for him, we would have not even scored. Okay, like, he really made some guys miss. I think the future's bright for Williams and Notre Dame, no doubt about it. I think this offseason what Notre Dame needs to do is get quicker and better players on defensive end. They do. You know, and I'm not worried. Obviously, a quarterback will be in Notre Dame. But look, you're playing against top-notch competition in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? But for me, Notre Dame, it's year in and year out since 1988 was the last national championship, dude. 1988, dude. You know, like Pac-Man was popping then. Crazy. But, you know, Bama, shout out to Bama. Mac Jones, 297 yards and 4 touchdowns. Harris, their running back, 15 carries on 125 yards. We saw that crazy hurdle over the defender. I believe that was in the second quarter. Crazy. You know, I mean, I'm telling you what, Bama's crazy. Devontae Smith, he had 7 receptions on 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. That was the difference maker for Bama, was Devontae Smith. You know, without him, I think, honestly, Notre Dame's in this game a lot closer than what they were. Seriously, they are in that game, you know, but like I said, for Notre Dame this offseason, beef up and really get better athletes on the defensive end for Notre Dame. You know, that's what they need to do. But Bama, obviously now they're in the championship against Ohio State. And to me, the Ohio State-Alabama game, and we do know Bama's probably going to be a touchdown favorite at least coming in. But let me tell you guys something. They both play similar football. Ohio State, you know, Bama, they play so similar. We could swap running backs and not even know. You know, for real. You know, shout out to Trey Sermon. I mean, seriously. And Harris, we could swap them both and not even know they're on different teams. I mean, crazy, right? Same thing with Clemson and Travis. Like, we could swap all 3 running backs from each different team and not even know about it. That's how we know they're top tier. These programs are crazy. But the championship game, I cannot wait, obviously. And speaking of Ohio State, the difference maker was definitely Justin Fields. I mean, 6 touchdowns and only 1 pick against Clemson. To me, this is crazy. He balled out. Obviously, he got hit hard, I believe, in the second quarter. You know, another dumb play by a Clemson linebacker who did, in fact, get ejected last year. And it might have been a regular season or a bowl game. But regardless, he got ejected. And then he does the same thing the last week to me. And I'm thinking, what is he thinking? You know, you're supposed to be a leader there. You know, linebacker, to me, it's just not leader-like. But Justin Fields and obviously Trey Sermon on 31 carries on 193 yards of rushing and a touchdown. I mean, I'm telling you what. Dude, Ohio State, history repeats itself. 2015, what happened? Ohio State did beat Bama in the playoff. And then they went on to beat, I believe it was Oregon, for the championship. In Ohio State, then they had Zeke. And now they got Trey. You know, they run hard. They're athletic. They can make tacklers miss in open field. That's the difference. And I think this championship game is going to be a great one. I really do. It's going to come down to the wire. I really think it's going to come down to who has the ball last. Is it going to be Ohio State or is it going to be Bama? What's it going to be? I cannot wait. I'll give my predictions later this week. I cannot wait for that game. It's going to be great. But, for Clemson, for Trevor Lawrence, where do they go here from now? I think Trevor Lawrence is saying, look, he had a pretty decent game, 2 touchdowns and a pick. But to me, I think Trevor Lawrence, he's done. He's going to the NFL, dude. I mean, why not? If I'm in Trevor Lawrence's shoes, I'm telling Coach Sweeney, look, dude, I'm telling Dabo, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? This is once in a lifetime opportunity, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? He could stay for one more year for his senior year, get his college degree, try to win another national championship. That's a possibility. It really is. But to me, if I'm Trevor Lawrence right now, my stock's high in the NFL, I'm going to the NFL. Period. And I think Justin Fields, obviously, I believe Justin Fields is a senior, so he's going to go regardless. I think he'll go later, a little on in the draft. But to me, Clemson, obviously, they're going to get great recruits. I'm not worried about Clemson. They'll be back in the playoffs this time next year. Who knows? Maybe national championships. You can't win them every single year, right? But, a huge, huge future for Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. What a game. To me, I cannot wait for the championship. Then we got Georgia versus Cincinnati. I picked Cincinnati with the upset pick, and it did make sense. Cincinnati was up in the fourth quarter late by 2 points, and it was really 3rd and 2. I believe it was under 2 minutes to go, 3rd and 2. And if I'm the coach here for Cincinnati, I'm running it here. Instead, they throw incomplete. The clock stops. Now they have to punt on 4th and 2. To me, it's horrible coaching for Cincinnati Bearcats. There's no excuse. Cincinnati Bearcats should have won this game. They run it on 3rd and 2. Instead, they get stopped. Now it's 4th and 2. We force them to call a timeout unless the clock continues to run. And I'm telling my players, look, we went through everything this year. We went undefeated up until this point. We're going for it on 4th and 2. This is all or nothing for us. That we're playing against SEC school in Georgia. To me, it's just like, I cannot believe what Cincinnati's coach was thinking, dude. To me, he lost them this game. There's no excuse. That's a bad call. I say you run it on 3rd and 2 right there. Force them to use a timeout. Force them to do it. And then if they do stop us on 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, we go. We're going for it. All the marbles are in. We're undefeated up until this point. We're playing in a big bowl game against Georgia, the Chick-fil-A Bowl. To me, it's just like, go for it. Go for everything. Instead, they elect to punt it. Then Georgia come down, kick a game-winning field goal. To me, it just don't make sense. It really doesn't. I don't get it. I'm really upset with this game. This game was my game where it was like, Cincinnati, it makes sense here. I thought Cincinnati should have even got a 4 seed instead of Notre Dame and played against Bama. As we do know, they probably would have got way more hammed than what Notre Dame did, obviously, against Bama. But to me, it was just like, man. But I think, the future's bright still in Cincinnati. Desmond Ridder, he had a good game, over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Georgia was a little too much, and I think they got outcoached. That's really why they lost. There was no really skill difference in ability here. I mean, both sides were really athletic, could do different types of things. So to me, it really boiled down to coaching. And to me, the reason Cincinnati Bearcats lost it was because of their coaching decisions late in the fourth quarter, like under 3 minutes to go. It was just like, what are they doing? But hats off to Georgia. They got the dub. Then we got Auburn versus Northwestern. I ended up taking Auburn. I thought it would be closer than what it was, but Northwestern got the job done. They came in as 4-point favorites. Peyton Ramsey, he was a difference maker here. 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing. To me, Auburn, obviously not the same Auburn as we're used to seeing in the SEC, right? They're just not. It's not the same team. Big win for Northwestern. I should have picked Northwestern, right? I should have bet on them because they're Big Ten. I love the Big Ten, Midwest kid. But to me, it's just, Northwestern, what a win. Auburn, really some question marks coming this offseason. I cannot wait. Then we got Ole Miss versus IU. To me, obviously, I went IU. I'm from Indiana. I really wanted to see IU win. Now, if IU had their starting quarterback in Michael Penix Jr., absolutely. IU would have easily won this game. No question. They would have won by at least 2 touchdowns. No doubt about it. To me, Matt Carroll, Old Miss's quarterback. I was about to say Oregon. Old Miss's quarterback, 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. To me, that was the difference maker. IU was really playing on their heels all game, even since the first quarter. To me, it was just like, obviously IU hasn't been in a bowl game for a while, so I feel like a little inexperience showed up there. But look, moving forward for Indiana football, the future's super bright. It really is. I'm not saying that for every team. I mean it for IU football. Seriously, I mean, they got on the map this year. I think, obviously, when Michael Penix Jr. comes back, they got a kid, Spiegel, who's from Indiana, originally went to my old high school. To me, he's going to hopefully get some clock. He's a running back. I cannot wait to see what Spiegel has to offer for IU. But look, dude, I'm telling you what, it wasn't the day for IU. But in the future, like I said, this offseason is going to be great, and I cannot wait to see what IU does. Big win for Ole Miss. And then we got Oregon versus Iowa State. I ended up taking Iowa State, got it right. 4.5-point favorites. They won easily. Brock, their quarterback, 156 yards passing and 1 touchdown. And then Breece Hall, their starting running back, baller, had a great season this year. I would say he's definitely top 10 running backs in NCAA right now. No doubt about it. NCAA, he's top 10. He had 34 carries, 136 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. I love this kid. I really do. And I thought that was the difference maker. That's why I picked them. I thought that they were going to run the ball on Oregon. Oregon didn't have a good run defense. That's why I picked Iowa State. Really an easy pick. This was probably the easiest pick of them all. Besides the Bama and Notre Dame, because so many people went Bama. But, big win for Iowa State. Way to close their season with the dub for the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. 58 was the over-under. I believe it was the under, but a huge win for Iowa State. Congratulations to them. Then we got Texas A&M versus North Carolina. I ended up picking North Carolina. This was really a 50-50 game to me. Similar styles, good offenses, not so good defense. Really high-scoring game. To me, Kellen Mond, he was the difference maker. 232 yards, didn't throw any interceptions. Sam Howell, North Carolina's quarterback, he threw for 3 touchdowns, but obviously an interception as well. So to me, it was just like, there was really inconsistent with North Carolina, and it really boiled down to their defense. Their secondary's been weak all year, and I really should have studied more on that and win A&M, because A&M was mad, saying, oh, we should have got the 4th seed instead of Notre Dame. You guys would have got won by Bama as well. Again, okay? So don't come on like that. Okay, so to me, we know that. Big win for A&M, a big offseason for them, but obviously Notre Dame and Bama, Bama right now, I'm telling you, they're obviously the favorites to win. They've been the favorites since the opening week. You know what I'm saying? But Bama and Ohio State, that's the national championship. To me, this is going to be great. This is for all the marbles, and I think really it's a coin flip. I say it's a coin flip because really they have similar styles, similar offenses, similar defenses, the best athletes in the country right now in college football, top 5 athletes, best athletes. Ohio State, Bama, they're in the top 5 every year. Same thing with the recruiting class. Top 5 year in and year out. It's about consistency for them, and they do it the best. They really do. I cannot wait to see it. It really is going to boil down to Justin Fields. If he plays like he did against Clemson, absolutely, I am taking Ohio State over Bama. We saw what happened in 2015, like I said, when Zeke played Bama, ran all over them. Beat Bama by over 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that was the best Bama team that we've ever seen before, right? But I think overall, this is great. This is great for college football. But I do think moving forward, like I've said before, I said, look, college football, they should go to a 10-team playoff. Why not? I think this would be great. Top 10 teams get in, just like the March Madness. Obviously, NCAA March Madness, way more teams. I want to say it's like 68. Correct me if I'm wrong. But look, dude, 10 teams, top 10 teams in the country, they get in the playoff bracket and go from there. To me, that would be great for college football, right? But, they're going to keep it at 4. I get that. It's fine, whatever. I just want to see in the future. I want to see by the end of this decade that we will eventually have a 10-team playoff. That'd be great for college football. But obviously, the top dogs right now is Bama and Ohio State. I cannot wait. And a lot of people gave shade to Ohio State. And I think that's really why they came out against Clemson on fire. A lot of people were saying Ohio State shouldn't even be a number 3 seed. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. They've only played 6 or 7 games coming into the Clemson game. To me, it was just really disrespect. It's like they forgot what happened last year. They were a play away from beating Clemson and going to the national championship against LSU. Did we forget about that? They did. And they showed up. Ohio State, offensively and defensively, showed up. I'm telling you what, this is going to be a great national championship. And if Justin Fields, like I said, plays the way he did against Clemson, 6 touchdown passes, I'm telling you what, Ohio State's going to beat Bama. They really are. And everybody's like, roll tide, roll tide. Come on. I'm telling you right now, Alabama, they should be concerned right now. You know, they're facing a similar running back like they see at practice day in and day out. And Trey, I'm telling you what, dude, this kid is a monster. Almost 200 yards rushing against Clemson. I'm telling you what, Bama, they're going to have to clamp down. I cannot wait for the national championship, baby. It's college football. It's the playoffs. It's the Cloud with Cap show. Let's go!